The story behind League of Legends, Episode 12, The Empire of Shurima. Shurima was once a powerful empire that spanned the farthest reaches of the vast southern continent. After an era of expansion and prosperity, its last emperor was betrayed by his closest friend, and the empire fell to ruin. Its gleaming capital was all but destroyed in an earth-shaking cataclysm, and the empire was left in ruins, its people scattered and its mighty cities devoured by the sand. Now Shurima is a barren wasteland, an unforgiving desert where only the strongest survive and its people cling to the few remaining oases and strips of fertile land around the coast. In the millennia since Shurima's fall, tales of its glorious capital and gleaming sun disk became little more than myths and debased religions among the descendants of the empire's few survivors. Most of Shurima's inhabitants now dwell in small tribal outposts clustered near water or built upon the bones of ancient cities, venerating the glories of the past. Some hunt buried riches among the ruins of the fallen empire or earn a living as sellswords, warriors for hire who fight for rich paymasters before disappearing into the sands. Others try to forget the past, looking to the future and nations across the ocean as partners in trade. Yet the ancient myths of Shurima do not rest easy and are stirring once more. Whispering winds from the heart of the desert speak of mighty cities rising from the earth, of a golden warrior marching at the head of an army of sand. Rumors spread of ancient heroes reborn, of a war between gods that will shake the very foundations of the world. The city of Shurima has risen, and nothing will ever be the same. Locations: Shurima is an arid territory in the southern half of the continent. Many men have gone mad beneath the glare of the Shurima sun. It is also the location of the newly resurrected Shuriman Empire, a vast civilization that bloomed millennia ago. It shares borders with Demacia and Noxus. Ancient beings called Ascended originate from this area. The current well-known locations encompassing Shurima are: Bulshan. Located at the northern part of Shurima, it is currently controlled by Noxus. Previous rulers of the city were Hylos Valor and Hazir Imasai. Its current rule is a Noxian steward known as Dorid. The city has a large rebel insurgents against the Noxian rule. Known as the Sons of Bulshan, they frequently trade weapons with Clan Medarda of Piltover. Its moitas wool and plate are prized for felting and insulation. Jerozhny. Located at the northern part of Shurima, it is currently controlled by Noxus. Previous Shuriman and current Noxian ruler of the city is Steward Tefik. The city's most well-known trade good are Shuriman Azurite, blood glass, named by the current Shuriman Emperor, Azur. Kalamanda. Located at the northern part of Shurima, the current ruler of the city is Councilman Reyes. The city's most well-known trade good are gold and sing stones, or sunstones. Nashrami. Located at the northern part of Shurima, the current ruler of the city is Hajat Sabja. In the city a festival is held celebrating Rama's worth. Thousands gather to roll and somersault around the city in his praise. Above the city stands a mock sun disk replica, built long ago to honor the lost legacy of the ancient empire of Shurima. The city's most well-known trade good are 4,000 Nashrami mats and bowls. Traveling on the back of a dormant beast from Nashrami to the capital of Shurima would approximately take 65 days. Shuriman Wastes. The fallen empire has littered the dunes with ruins. A mysterious creature can be found wandering the desert. Skarner defends the entrance to a realm deep beneath the Shuriman Wastes. What he protects no one knows. Buried tombs also hold ancient secrets. Amabu rose from such a tomb. In another, Israel claimed an ascended artifact of incredible mystical power. Kelethet, Vikora, Nerimazith, Zareta, and Astrologer's Tower are located in this desert wasteland. Sai. Sai is the harsh, southern desert defined by rolling plains of sand, sharp stones and eerie silence. Located between the end of the desert and the capital, it is for the most part completely uninhabited besides the Zursai and their queen Rixai, whom has single-handedly claimed vast parts of the desert. Traders and armed caravans will go hundreds of miles out of their way to avoid her territory, though cunning bandits have been known to lure the unwary into her killing grounds. The capital. An oasis in the desert, it fell to ruins after Xerath's flawed ascension. It has risen once again with the resurrection of Shurima's long-lost emperor, Azur. In its prime, it was the center of Shuriman society. Because of its immense importance as the center of trade and culture of the empire, many cultural, educational centers and markets bringing goods from all over the empire sprung up. It also housed special burial grounds for the most influential of its citizens, such as the Tomb of the Emperors. The city is divided by ring districts and city levels. The city's wealthiest citizens lived in the top rings of the city, while middle and lower classes, with slaves, lived mostly in settlements built on the rocky cliff sides of the outer and lower rings. The Palace of 10,000 Pillars, Skull's Palace, Temple of the Sun and Oasis of the Dawn are located at the center of the city. The most important road in the city was the Emperor's Way. The city was built around the ancient that floats above the Circle of Ascension and the city itself. The city also had the most advanced irrigation system of its time, seemingly unsurpassed until modern times. Floating gardens decorated with palms and other flora protected its many terraces from the burning sun. Circle of Ascension. Located at the very center of the city, above the Grand Temple, Oasis of the Dawn and the Imperial Place, the Circle of Ascension is the main focal point from which most the privileged beings of Shurima's past harnessed the powers of the Sun Disk and became ascended beings. It was also the center location of ancient Shurima's destruction and its modern rise from the grave. The circle is accessible with the Stairs of Ascension and the Emperor's Way, the most important road within the city. Oasis of the Dawn. Described as the Mother of Life, the oasis is located near the Tomb of the Emperors. The bloodline of the entire city, it the city's main source of fresh water. The water is fused with unknown magical properties and has immense healing powers. It is said that any edge dipped into this pool will stay sharper and strike truer than any other sword. It has almost all dried up until the newly resurrected Azur brought a dying sword to the now magical pool. The water's powers healed her fatal wounds. This act of selflessness from Azur made him worthy of ascension, which ultimately revived his broken city. Tomb of the Emperors. Deep in the capital city lies the Tomb of the Emperors. For the last millennium it has acted as the makeshift prison of Xerath and Renekton. It is guarded by the statue of a huge serpent. When the tomb opened, the serpent came to life, impaling Cassiopeia on its fangs, its venom transforming her into a terrifying half-snake creature. Urzaris. Located at the northern part of Shurima, it's currently controlled by Noxus. Its current ruler is Stewart Vin. Its most well-known trade good is the Urzaris salt. Culture. The current inhabitants of Shurima's desert are mainly descended from the survivors of the fall of Shurima's empire. The origin of their culture reaches back to Azur's time. During those times, slavery was a common thing in the empire. It was so common that the entire empire was dependent of slaves as a working force. One of the former slaves, Xerath, tried to seek revenge for position, which inadvertently caused the empire's downfall. Ironically, his plan was implemented right after Azur emancipated all slaves in the empire. After the fall of ancient Shurima, the society has evolved as they eke out an existence in their harsh environment of the desert. Commonly the nomads, such as Sivir, practice tomb robbing and mercenary service. The people are also known to produce seers blessed with foresight. Malzahar was born with such abilities. The southern desert is plagued by Xersai, vicious monsters originating from the void. To scout from attacks by Xersai, caravans can employ Elatravi, or Bell Riders. They can also employ Sahigarashi, or Sandwalkers. These are poor locals who travels with a caravan, but can quickly be outrun in case of an attack by the Xersai, at which point they serve as unfortunate decoys while their employers escape. In ancient times the Sun Disk produced heroes called Ascended in times of direst threat. These beings were merely considered legends until recently. The Great Weaver. The Great Weaver is a Shuriman deity which weaves the lives and destinies of each individual and holds individual triumph into consideration, since even the smallest rock is important in weaving the larger tapestry of life. The belief of the Great Weaver started sometime after the events of ancient Shurima's fall and is widely followed by desert dwellers and shepherds. Rammus, the enigmatic armadillo that roams the deserts of Shurima. Rammus comes and goes, appearing to the people of Shurima at random, usually by accident, looking for food, or because of some other agenda. However, this hasn't stopped the people from creating wild theories about his origin, race, and goals. Some say he is harbinger of change, others say a god, and still others claim him to be a guardian of Shurima. Whatever the case, he will continue to roam the desert, and mystify all that comes across him. Government. Shurima currently has no centralized government, being most regions are controlled by local leaders due to the isolation between settlements. In ancient times, all regions were governed by feudal lords that answered to the Emperor of Shurima, who was located at the capital. Azur proclaimed himself emperor again after his resurrection and intends to unify the nation again. Military. Shurima had a standing army before it fell. There were at least 10,000 elite warriors that guarded the emperor. When Azur returned, he summoned a vast army at his command. The soldiers, though made in the image of their predecessors, are constructs of sand and are not sentient. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to share video and subscribe us channel.